Hello everybody, my name is Takriva and welcome to Endless Space with this Harmony expansion. Now sometimes you're in the mood to play a certain kind of game, and sometimes it's a game like Europa Universalis, sometimes you just want to play Call of Duty. I mean, it can range, right? And sometimes you want to play a game like Civilization, only it is set in space. And there are not many very good Space 4X games out there. What I've heard is that Masters of Orion 2, I think is the one, is pretty damn good. But right now I'm looking for a more modern game, so I'm trying to find some good ones to play. And in the past few years, maybe this came out last year, maybe the year before, I'm not sure. But Endless Space is actually pretty decent for what it does. It has flaws, obviously, but it is very good at what it tries to do, and that's give you, well, some really fun times, really. Yeah, really, really, really. So what I've done is decided to play some Endless Space with you, just to show it off. It's a different game than Civ, but it's also quite similar in the fact that, well, it's still a 4X game, and a 4X game stands for a game in which you have to explore, you expand, you exploit, and you exterminate. That's what the 4X's stand for, and it's just about building up a civilization around you and just be conquering the world, or in this case the universe. So let's just get into it. It's a pretty good looking game as well, I must add. So let's go new game, and here you can see your new game. So you can play against the AI, you can play against players as well. Just gonna play on a normal difficulty. It's yeah, if the British had been like this, the US would still be a colony. Newbie would be, you might lose if you only hit the end of turn button, but it still wouldn't be easy. Wow. The enemy AI thinks the Maginot Line was a brilliant idea. Well, if you follow our Hearts of Iron, you will soon find out that it was not that brilliant idea. Easy, if this was Wellington, we'd all speak French. Hard, every bit as great as Alexander. Serious, so this is what it felt like to go up against Attila and Genghis Khan. If this was Bowie, he might have won at the Alamo. Okay. You shall not pass is endless. Well, okay. Just gonna play it normal at a normal speed. That's fine. We're going to play single. No advanced rules, I think. The shape of the galaxy, I've decided to go for a galaxy ring because I haven't played that before. It sounds interesting. Everything rotates around a big black hole. And you've got twin elliptical, ovoid, basically two disk galaxies merging together. Disk galaxies is elliptical galaxies, a proto-galaxy before the formation of distinguishable arms. Fewer travel restrictions, okay. Ovoid would be a sort of oval stretched thing, and then there's a spiral like the Milky Way with, well, arms in it. But we're going with a galaxy ring. I'm going for a huge one because it's a fun game to play in a large setting. Age normal, 8 empires. You can go advanced and set some things up here for planets and stuff, and number of constellations is could do many actually. It would I think many is many gives you lots of wormholes, but wormholes are not the worst. I'm gonna go with many constellations. Anyway, you'll see in game what it all means, like wormholes and what they do. System balancing, planets per system, normal planet size. Random I like the best. It's just completely random what sizes of planets you'll find. And same for planets per systems. The resources can be a normal. Wormholes on average, galaxy density. Let's put this on high. So we have lots of places to go, and then the game just snowballs at one point, which is also quite fun actually, but it also can be annoying if it's the AI doing that. But string normal, system balancing, that's perfectly fine like this. Okay, so then we get to pick a race. I'm gonna put everyone else on random because that's fun. Now what's so cool about this game is that you can add your own races. So for now, the races that came with the game, as well as the expansion, gave you Harmony, and there was a download for the Automatons, and the Sheridan were a, I think, pre-order or a deluxe edition exclusive. But they played a lot like the United Empire in the beginning, but they have been a little bit more set aside as different. But so you have the United Empire, which are basically humans, and they're evil aligned actually. So humans are inherently evil apparently. They are good at production. Basically, every race gets an affinity, which gives them a specific bonus unique to their race. And then they have some things that everyone could have, like they're businessmen, they're entrepreneurs, they have strong allies, so they have very healthy ships, they are fearless warriors, they are dust impaired, and they are hull architects. So these are just abilities. What they all mean you really get to know when you play the game. So you have the United Empire, which is an economic military focused colonialist game as sort of evil. Then you have the Cravers, which are like extremely evil. They're more evil than humans, because the Cravers have something called eternal war. They can't be at peace with others, so they will always try and screw you over, basically. The notions of treaty, trade, and peace do not exist. They just consume planets. They crave it. Then you have the Sophons, a little bit the standard-looking aliens. But they're the scientists, so they got a huge science bonus to their planet's scientists as well. So lots of science to be had as the Sophons. Then you have Horatio, and it's not plural; it's singular, because Horatio was a trillionaire of the Empire who left to discover his own star cluster, finding a planet sprinkled with labs of ancient cloning technology left by the Endless, which is the progenitor race. I think that's the word, progenitor race of this universe, and they were before these races. The boredom soon drove Horatio to create a race of allies, servants, and slaves who were every bit as gorgeous as the most beautiful person in the universe, Horatio. So this whole race are clones of the same guy. It's a bit odd, and they like to expand, and they basically the cloning gives and everything gives them a lot of bonus food. They have +1 food per citizen on planets. They get lots of they have all these headhunters. Ah, interesting. Anyway, then you have the Hisho, which are a bird race who are like the Japanese, actually, medieval style Japanese, that they are militaristic, sort of Bushido ideas. Their affinity is battle Bushido. They get, for each battle they win, they get more damage towards the next battle, and so on. And they are just really strong. Masters of destruction, cheaper weapons, stronger weapons, accurate weapons, like to fight back against everything. So but that's all they have. They have all weapons, and then they have a lot less science than normal. Then you have the Sowers, a race created by the virtual faction of the Endless. The Sowers are basically a race of robots that go from planet to well, make them better. Yeah, they terraform planets to survive and make the worlds better to live on. Basically, so they have builders, they can build, and they can colonize everything from the start, which not everyone can. Then there's the Amoeba, a race of water dwellers. They have a good alignment, by the way. Sophons are good, Horatio are neutral, Hisho are definitely evil, Sowers are actually also neutral. Amoeba are good. They evolved in oceans, so all their ships are very oceany looking, and they are very well, friendly, very good at, they're pretty big on diplomacy, just say that, and their affinity gives them a view of the entire, well, universe before you even start. Then there's the Pilgrims, which is a good faction that split off from the United Empire of scientists and explorers. They hijacked a mission and set up their own government, and they are basically on the run from their old overlords. So that's the thing. Then they added the automatons, which is like a singularity robot race-ish. They were created the robots, and then they're clockwork, basically a little bit of steampunk clockwork stuff going on here. And at one point they had here it says an endless ship crashed into the planet and spread dust across its surface. The dust modified the machines, enhancing their abilities and over time even giving them sentience. In other words, a singularity style robot race, which is actually aligned as good, which is also not something you see often. And the automatons are good at industry, I think. Yeah, Hellgords, they start on a planet with lots more food but less happiness there. It's every people has something. Then there's Harmony, which is like the race added in the expansion. Don't really know a lot about them. Just know that they don't use dust and do other stuff instead. Other than that, not really sure how much they do. They just want to, they're neutral, but they want to destroy all the dust in the universe. I think they're anti-dust, and dust is sort of the gold currency of the game. Finally, there's the Sheridan, which are Terran. They're different from the United Empire, but in the beginning they were exactly the same. But they're basically a elite military organization within the Empire that has a caste within the Imperial Navy. And they have sort of split off to be their own civilization as well. Well, civilization. And here are two that I made myself from, you can add yourself. The Empire of Man, basically United Empire, that's a lot more evil than the actual United Empire. They are militarists, they have big fleets and all this stuff. And then I made one, and I think we're gonna play as this race because this is what I thought was very interesting to play. I called it the Federation, and description: space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Basically, I made the Federation from Star Trek, and I thought that the look of the Pilgrims, definitely this picture, really would identify a lot with Star Trek. And I took the Sophon Affinity because they're very sciencey actually. So I gave them a science bonus, and they have plus 10% science on every system. I'll actually go to the modified tab over here, and here you can see all the different stuff you can choose from. It's a lot. There are plus scores and minus scores. You can have a total of 65 points. Some of the pre-made races go over that, but that's because they are more they were created by the developers, of course, and they are hopefully a lot more balanced in that sense. But all of these, yeah, you can get up to 65 points, but you can go a bit over if you also take penalties. And as you can see here, I took some penalties, so it's pretty nice. I think I've chosen something fun to do. So I've chosen the Diplomat's trait, which, well, they're the Federation, I see them as really good diplomats, which they are, so we get a lot of trade route bonuses. We have fragile hulls. The ships are not the best in the universe to take damage. They are more pleasing to the eye than just strength. I mean, you see a lot of ships blow up throughout all the movies and stuff. They Headhunter Adventurer. It probably means that you get an adventurer as a starting hero, which I thought was a bit more RP. I personally always like to, where is it, hero? I like to have an administrator, because administrators are good at getting food and industry. Corporate is good at dust and research. You will see what it all means soon. Pilot is for ships, commander is for bases. An adventurer, well, it seems more like it's a Kirk or well, administrator might be kind of Picard, maybe they're both. Anyway, they have humane weapons because they don't necessarily try to kill. I mean, they have the phasers set to stun. They do have very strong weapons, of course, so it just reduces damage by a lot. And I need something to get minus points. They have legendary heroes, because, well, they're all legendary from the Star Trek series. Makes science, not war. that's kind of obvious, I thought. They're merchants, definitely. They are good at meticulous analysis because of the Vulcans. Mutual understanding, kind of the same thing. 10% damage max per number of allies on fleet weapons. Okay, so if you have a fleet with allies in it, that or allies as well in the neighborhood, I'm not 100% sure how it works still, but we get actually bonus to damage. So rich soil, starting planet, basically Earth, is better than, well, it's really rich. It has a lot of growth potential. And there are scientists, definitely, the Federation. They have the Sheridan integrity. I mean, the name is because of the Sheridan race, but they minus 10 happiness or approval per deal broken on system. Basically, they're so strong in feeling like diplomats that they cannot break a deal. If a deal reduces the approval of your empire when you break a diplomatic deal, so it's different if other ones. So if you have made peace or alliance, you can't simply go to war. I mean, they must do that. So spendthrifts, they spend a lot of money. Well, even though the Federation is not a in Star Trek, the Federation does not use any money anymore. They do spend it. That's the thing. They don't use it anymore, so there's kind of less to spend on everything, maybe. But also I needed the minus points. They are strategically resourceful. That felt like very fitting. And xenology. They first contacts with alien beings cause a rapid development in disparate branches of study. Linguistics, anthropology, biology, sociology, and basically, yeah, the research science. It felt so fitting for them. So we're gonna play as the Federation, and since I don't actually want to play against the Cravers at all, I'm going to get some of the others in here. Horatio, Sowers, Amoeba, Automatons, and Harmony. I'm not taking the Pilgrims because I look like the Pilgrims myself, and I don't take the. Right now I don't want to take either Hisho or Cravers because, well, they just are warmongering, and that's not necessarily what I want to do. I'm gonna have a huge fleet anyway, so. But since we're already, wow, 17 minutes in just setting up the game, explaining what it does a little bit, and there's still more explaining to come anyway, so yeah, this feels so very Star Trek to me, if to be honest. It so does. It, of course, different kinds of suits maybe, but definitely. So now it's creating the galaxy basically. And yeah, I do like this game. I've got actually like more than 50 hours in it already, so it's not that I don't know the game or something, just it used to always crash with the program Raptor running. It used to crash really weirdly, so yeah, hope it says loading actually, yay. So we're gonna play a little bit Star Trek RP-ish. Welcome to Astra. How big is this planet? It's a medium Terran rich soil planet. Now, welcome to, well, let's go back to this view first. So here's our home planet, Astra, and we are located on Astra 1. And this is the universe as a whole. There are other galaxies. This might actually be supernova, but there's more beyond this galaxy. So, but this is how the galaxy looks, with the black hole in the center, with nothing in here, and the whole galaxy revolves around it. And we can see these stars near us. So this is the view of the whole world, of the universe actually, and you can go to your own systems and do stuff here. So we are on Astra 1. There are 3 planets in here. There's a medium Terran on which we are located, of course with rich soil. Then there is the huge desert planet, and it's huge, so it has a lot more people. It's a desert, which means it gives a lot of dust income, and so, but we cannot colonize it yet because you need tech to colonize, unless you start with that trait that the sowers have. And finally there is a large gas hydrogen planet. Gives even more dust. Wow, plus 20 dust per citizen. I think they changed dust since I played, because it was a lot less back then, but... this one also has mundane artifacts. One, which is basically a luxury resource in this case. And some resources we don't even know, but we cannot colonize this either yet. So, wow, there's tons of dust to get here. Anyway, we can only build this, so you can build buildings here. This one gives plus 8 dust on this on a planet that is either Terran, jungle, ocean, arid, or tundra. Nothing else. So it is workable on this planet. It would take us 8 turns to build. Other than that, you can build an investigator, which is the name of our scout ship. There is the protector, which is basic defensive ship, and the procreator, which is the basic settler. Yeah, it's a colony ship. And construction effects, minus 100% on population growth and star system. So we're not going to do that yet, because with our food income we have a surplus of 20. We are going to grow in 3 turns already, so I am actually going to build the Xenu tourism agencies to get that out of the way. And over here you have your important messages, like the flags you get up top with Europa Universalis and that sort of games. And then we have fleets going around. You start off with a scout ship, and I'm going to send this first here because that's quite close. Ursa. We get an event, so every place that has a star above it is an event you can get at the start. They will go away with people taking places. Now, this system has 6 planets. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All planets are large, so this is a place that gets a lot of people on it. And yes, here you can see a negative anomaly because it's red. It has EM radiation, and the fun thing is you can actually see the anomalies on the planet's surface. So that's that one, molten core. I don't think you can see that, no, because it's about the core. Also the actual star is actually also in the background on the left, but if I go there with my mouse it will switch the picture around again. So we can see the same on our own planet. The rich soil, I think, might be these green spots, but yeah, you can see all of our people everywhere as well, so that's good. Oh right, I think that's actually better to do first than the xenotourism. Is every planet you can exploit, and it basically means what your people are doing as their job. And there are 4 different kinds. It just means you produce food, which is, well, food to grow your people, industry to build things, science to research, and dust to pay upkeep and buy other things. So we could, it would be good on a Terran planet to get evolved soils, because it would increase extra, because everyone is +1 plus per person per planet. So we have 3 population. Well, it's just probably in billions or something like that, but it basically means everything does at least +1 per population per planet. But for evolved soils it is more effective on jungle, ocean, or Terran planets. And that's the food one. Then you have industrial zones, which is more effective on tundra or lava planets. Colonial exchange, which gives dust on desert or arid, and science on barren or arctic. Some planet types are not listed yet, but they appear at upgraded versions of exploitation, and upgraded versions will also increase the amount per planet per person as well. So because of our rich soil, I do not see the need to actually get the food on here, and we'll just go with the industrial zones. Now the advantages of a planet that has a lot of food production is that you can colonize the other planets in the system and don't need to produce food there. As you can see, a person on Astra 2 would only get 1 food per population, 1 production, but 9 dust, and it's even weirder on the hydrogen planets. But since this is actually a pretty damn nice planet, you can also see moons, which we can explore at a later state as well. I'm going to send my colony ship right there. It's a lot slower than my Explorer, so... And he can go... Okay, it's a little bit... That's odd. Oh, we have... What is this? Oh, we actually have a protection ship as well. Oh! Our exploration event. I'm like, hang on, we only start with 2 ships. So the exploration event that we got, a new advanced defense ship is created on Ursa. So we got a free ship for it. So we already have a defense ship. It has 90 strength. You can see the, well, the fist is basically their strength. The radar dish is the amount of ships you can have in a fleet, while the amount of command points. Larger ships require more command points to use. There's, I think, invasion strength if you want to take a planet. And on the all the way on the right you can see either if a hero is attached and how much movement the ship has. So this one has 9 movement, but 20 strength. And this is our colony ship. So that's... oh crap, that... I shouldn't have done that. Search for Auriga is, I think, a special mission about anything. I don't think... No, I cannot get it back, I think. Maybe I can. Menu, no, resume. If it was important, it might come back again. So there are 3 heroes we can recruit. We're gonna probably recruit one of them definitely. Ready to recruit. And there's another one here. So they cost 20 to recruit. That's annoying. So we have some places we can go. There is the Empire management screen, which shows you how much, well, about all your planets are listed here, what kind of resources you control, how happy the people are, what you're building, etc, etc, how much research income, and so on. Then there is the research screen, and this is the tech tree. And there are 4 distinct trees. You have the military, galactic warfare tree, there's the applied sciences, which is science focused, exploration and expansion to the south, and to the west we have diplomacy and trading. I think, yeah, there are also orange researches and buildings as well. They are special, they are to do with your affinity. So we get the Sophon affinity, so we get the special Sophon structures and researches that no one otherwise would get. So over here it's normally the trees are completely mirrored, as you can see in the top one, but we have some special ones in the bottom. This one is extra, and over here we are lacking this one. Yes, yeah, so we are lacking one here, but that's probably this special one who comes instead. So these 2 are mirrored, but this one is disappeared. So, and left clicking, as you can see, the green path is the path it takes with research. We've already done the xenology one. We have an arid planet in our main system. So I'm actually very tempted to just start with arid epigenetics, which allows you to well, colonize arid planets, but I always like to get this star system improvement, the heavy isotope refineries first, because they're just incredibly strong on any planet, in any system actually, because you build things in the system and they count for everything in the system. So I'm gonna go with anyway fusion plants first and to arid epigenetics after. Since we cannot hire a, there's the academy over here, which you can hire and manage heroes. We cannot hire anyone yet. They all cost 20 dust, which we don't have. The diplomacy screen, but we don't have anyone to diplomacy with. So I'm just gonna end the turn. Wow. I've been talking for a while now, and my throat notices it. So here's a nice button. It's auto move. So you are going there. OVA gets us the event. No effect as you have no hero in your fleet. That's a shame. Well, you are going here and you can go colonize. There's only one planet to colonize right now, which is this one. And we get a game event. Great things have small beginnings. Haggard, unsure, but full of hope. The first colonists of your faction have set foot on another planet. It may seem trivial, but even the most epic adventures begin with a single step. It's one small step, basically. So here we are, our second star system. It has a different what it gets. There's tax, there's distance, etc, etc. What we're going to do here is exploit for food first, because it's extremely strong on an ocean planet, and I want to grow this out first, and we have the rich soil in our home system, so it's not necessary there, and probably xenotourism after, but we are likely going to get something in first, so you can start moving there. There's this button over here which you can use to execute all moves, but let's keep flying. Merope, plus 10% food on system, which is not useful. So as familiarity with space travel and exploration increases, more and more events and anomalies are registered. Some of these are simply strokes of luck, either good or bad. Others complex situations that require decisions and generate risk. So here's a system, and the previous one that we discovered where we cannot colonize just yet because all of these are not discovered, and these are actually all hard, 2 barren, 2 lava, an Arctic and a methane planet. And as you can see here, you can see the rings, the so-called Antonov Rings, and basically, yeah, it just shows that the anomalies are visible on planets. So these are Antonov Rings, there are also Huygens Rings somewhere. There's this planet is irradiated, so you can see it's this one is irradiated, this one isn't, and they're both huge and both lava. It seems a little bit different, it seems to be slightly different color. This one has poor soil, which means it's even more barren than barren. Orange means it's only a weak minor, it's a minor anomaly, minor negative one. Red is a major negative one, and there are texts and research to be done in the future where you can actually change those anomalies as well, and that they get different, that you can basically terraform the planet. We have missions to file. Our ship could have probably flown on, so let's move to that planet over there. Dale. We can have 2 planets to colonize. Meteor strikes on this planet. You can see them constantly hitting the surface. It's also a minor anomaly because it actually gives production bonus, because meteors mean minerals. Yeah. And robot locals on this planet, even more production. Can we see that? I don't necessarily see it right now. Some of them you can see, some of them can't. Anyway, Dill is a likely candidate to explore and settle at 1.2. You have nothing to do. Well, you know what? Let's just explore as well with you. As soon as we have 20 dust, we need to hire our first hero though, because heroes are quite important to have. Here you can see 2 turns to the next tech. Let's move. We have 20 by the way, and we will hire a hero. So what do we have here? A commander, adventurer, a administrator, commander, and a corporate commander. Everything is commander. So all these things have influence on... Oh, what's... There's something happening. Auriga system discovered. Huh. Someone has already discovered Auriga, apparently. Not entirely sure what it means, but yeah, we'll see. It might be something about the Disharmony expansion, which I haven't played a lot of. I've played mostly the vanilla game. Let's go back to our heroes. So we have C. Badamdi. He is a commander and adventurer, which has influence on his skills. Adventurer, I think, means that you are... Oh yeah, these are also all the skills you can get as an adventurer. And I think an adventurer is actually quite well, versatile, really. So they get labor, they get wit. Wit gives wit gives science and dust bonus on systems. Labor gives food and production. Melee gives you defense as well as invasion strength. So melee combat, well, means with troops invading. Offense is ship attack, defense is ship defense. And the total, these are showing the totals, by the way, these percentages. 3 times Baden executed the monumental effort of scouting, proposing and implementing the establishment of a colony on a new world, while under enemy fire. His ability to stay cool under pressure earned him the nickname Iceberg. This might be an inside joke of the developers, because it's either made or what's the word again? You develop it, or you... all the guys who basically put it forward into the market, they're Iceberg basically. So either the developers or the ones making it. K. Noyle, operator on an industrial platform orbiting a gas giant. Nichols' skills at production were greatly appreciated until the war moved elsewhere, and he was left alone. Oh, an automaton. I guess he's sort of an automaton. Well, he's an administrator commander. Administrator gives him a huge bonus to labor. Commander gives him offense and defensive skills. And it's not, it's actually the combination which matters to how many points you get in something, because Bademdi over here has hasn't got 4-4 in offense and defense. Sarthilis is a Sophon. He has wit as well as melee offense and defense, even though he's also a commander. So the Empire text of Sun Tzu to the way of the Heisho. Huh. Sun Tzu is, well, obviously the Heisho version of Sun Tzu. Out of these, I think, because of, well, a little bit RP, this guy seems like a fine bet to take. Also, he's a little bit human. Nah, that doesn't matter. Not that. So we're just gonna hire Bademdi. And actually, because of the legendary heroes, we get instantly an upgrade, I think. So we can already unlock an ability, and on him I want to just get labor for now. So he's really good at producing food and production. So now he's assigned to the system. It just had 28 and something here. So we actually get 1.8 bonus in industry and a 4.6 in food. Oh, actually the exploration event is everywhere, the food bonus. That's actually good. Actually, and subsequent heroes, you can have 3 in total in the beginning. You might have more in the future with technology, but each new one, next one you want to buy, costs a lot more. So yeah, that's about it. I've already leveled him up, so you also get a notification if you can level up a hero, which is always nice to know. Also, we have discovered our tech, and we have a strategic resource on our home planet. Titanium 70. Minus 10% production cost per on titanium 70 modules. On modules using that thing. Okay. Oh, for each you have, you get production cost reduced for the for modules on a ship that use that thing, and it also gives 1 production per person on a planet. And if you have 3 or more, normally it's 4 or more, but because we are resourceful, we get 3 or more, we get another 30% production. And now we can actually build the isotope factories as well, and I'm gonna move them up 1 because production just makes it so much easier. And here you see research complete. Next research already in the queue. Normal, yeah, we have discovered the resource and a thing has been found. Exploitation allows for new developments and more exploration, but we haven't arrived yet. Okay, let's see. Production complete in Astra. We got our planetary exploitation done, so it went up from 14 to 23 production now. Also because of his bonus, of course. So that's good. Let's continue. Justium 2 events. Plus 20 approval on system for 10 turns, and twice actually. You can move here. Yeah, you can do the same. Chastium, Arctic and huge arid, which is actually nice because we'll soon be able to colonize arid. Mayal is barren and lava. This one is a toxic planet. They have a hostile fauna on top of being a lava planet. Yes. It sometimes is a little bit ridiculous. Ah, we are happy actually. Yay. The people are happy. Happy, happy, happy. Actually, oh, we have done the research. Oh, we don't have a arid. Oh, it's a desert planet. My bad. But some other arid planets have come up. Also here, the production building before the tourism agencies. It just speeds it up enormously in the beginning. Okay, we have... Oh, desert is already here. That's good. What was the bottom tree now again? Exploration and expansion, yeah. You get new ship designs you get from the bottom tree, but everything to put in a ship almost comes from the top, except for some more sciencey modules. So, xenobiology. Here's already the first better exploitation. +2 in jungle, ocean, +2 per planet and Terran. So let's do this so our ocean planet can grow exponentially big. Then we'll do, what is this? Movement increase and colonize Arctic. And we'll just do xenobiology for now. So we can dismiss this, move everyone over. Everyone in her. Oh, one large pirate fleet. Well, we do have our defense. So, last thing we're going to do is show you the combat system. And we're going to do a manual combat. Loading screen for the... So, welcome to combat in this game. And it's basically a silly card game. We will select an action for the long range, which will be... we'll do tactics for now, because long range means rockets are very effective, other kinds of weapons are not so much. We actually get the bonus, so we outwitted their strategy by doing a better one. Medium range, I'm gonna do barrier. Let's see, yeah, we're not really hitting each other right now at all. Oh, actually we just lost one of our ships. Ugh. Okay. Current medium range. They have rockets. Dang. That's not good. And we're gonna just retreat on the last one. So basically you choose your tactics. You can have a counter effect to a card, and then one card works and the other does not or works worse. Yes, we just lost both our ships to one quite strong pirate ship. It's not the end of the world though. Anyway, that was that. Yes. Yeah, final thing I will say is this blue line denotes our influence from our settled planet. It takes a while for a planet to be completely yours and considered yours. In this case, for control, we have to... which one is it? I'm not entirely sure where it shows. I don't remember where it shows exactly, but somewhere. It takes a while for you to control a new planet or system at least, and once you do, you get the influence range around the system to note, hey look, this is yours. So for now we've lost our ships. Next episode of this game, Endless Space, we shall show you how to build ships and to colonize a lot more and all that jazz. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you liked this. If you do, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't just yet, and share it with your friends who might like it as well, just to make sure we get this out there and people can actually see what a decent game this is. It's obviously not the best game in the world, because the combat system is a little bit silly with the card game, but other than that it's quite solid as a 4X, and we'll see that in the near future how it continues to play. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I will see you guys later.